So someone asked me as a teacher, how do I actually run my classes, or if there are any advice and stuff like that. I think every class is totally different. So it's not for me to say how you should run your class. I don't think I can say something that would be perfect for everybody, but I will say a couple of things that I learned from other teachers, and I came up with this style, and I think that maybe this would be a very nice session for me to do. So basically what I do is I use these cards and I print the attendance for every class. Now, I teach computer science, so I have multiple classes in a given day. So it's not like one class for the whole day. I have many classes in a single day. And because of that, I can't always keep remembering all the students, all their names, or what homework was given to them, what assignment was given to them. There are different levels. Like, for example, I am preparing for tomorrow's class, and tomorrow's class is actually a light day. I have 4 classes only. So I have a P3 class, and I have 3 other classes which are P4. So tomorrow is a light day, it's an easy day. That means I have to only focus on 2 things. I have to focus on P3 and I have to focus on P4. That's it. But normally on any other day, I might have a P1 class, a P3 class, a P2 class, and a P4 class. And another day, it could just be P4, P3, and P5. So because of that, what I do is I keep these cards, and I have the student's name, of course, and I mark it. Now, I don't pre-print these things. Only the names are pre-printed. This is very old school. Of course, you must be like, whoa, why is he not printing everything out? Or why is he just not using a computer to do it? But I like the paper and pen thing. I like that because to me, it's my time to get my thoughts together, to see what they learned last week and what they're going to learn this week. Of course, I have lesson plans and stuff like that. But this is a little bit more of a 60,000 feet view of certain things, because I meet students once a week. So I need to remind myself what happened last week. So when I do this, on the back of the card, see, on this side is, of course, the names, the attendance, if they did their homework or not. But on the back of the card, with pen, I will write down what happened last week. Not exactly a reflection, but I will say, okay, week 10, week 11, week 12, week 13, what did they do? Week 14, what did they do? And of course, next week is, tomorrow. This is for my tomorrow's class. So tomorrow is week 15. So I will write week 15 and what they are going to do tomorrow. But I would write things here, highlighted, and the details, I will always write it in a notebook. So in this case, when I look at it, I will know that, okay, on this week we were doing copy and paste, but in this week we were doing, the control key on the keyboard. Then I had power slides, and this, this setup, as you can see, there are no devices, no computers, no iPads, no phones, nothing. With this setup, I immediately know exactly where I was and what I'm going to do in a given week. And this is a perfect way of me having some kind of control on what is being taught in class, what students understood. If students didn't understand something, I would always mark it over here. This is a very private card. I do have personal notes here, so I don't show it to the students. I don't show it to anybody for that matter. But I will use highlighters, green for anything that's going good, and red for anything that I need to know and remember, either as a class or maybe individual students. This also gives me a chance to know how the student is doing. Do I need to pay attention to any student who's falling behind maybe? Maybe they were doing very well for a few weeks and then suddenly some lessons were very difficult and they were like, oh my God, we're not understanding this. And sometimes they may not tell me directly. They may not tell me like, hey teacher, listen, you explained something and I have no idea what you explained. Like they're shy or they just want to keep quiet. So I always play certain weekly games in the class, so that way I can monitor each student's performance to know if they could answer the question. The games that I set up, there's also a timer in it. Like if those students who, like when you're answering a question, did it take you like 5 seconds to answer it? Or did it take you like 20 seconds to answer it? Because, the moment the question shows up on the screen, this is all online, by the way. So the moment the question shows up on the screen, if the student knows the answer, there's a good chance that he will answer like clicking the mouse in less than 5 seconds or 10 seconds at the most. But if he's taking more than 10 seconds, then I know that he or she is probably asking their friends, like, hey, what is that answer? Hey, do you know what that answer is? And so now I know that student is asking for help. Maybe, I suspect. So this is a nice way of me having some kind of readout, some kind of data that tells me how is my class doing. And I do it by the week. I don't exactly write the dates. We have like 20 weeks in a semester. So I know exactly where it is. I also have a wall calendar, so I don't have to write too many things on my card. I don't think the system is so impressive. It works for me. I think that you should know how your class is, and maybe you can design a system that works for you. But if you want to know more about this, just let me know and in the comments, and I will, of course, make an episode on this alone. But I like working this way. It's just, it's paper, pen. It just feels different. I can look at it. I think this is such a great way of working. And of course, working in a corporate world. So this came together from little bits of everywhere, and it came into this. And here's the best part. And I think this part came, okay, the system must work on one card. On one card, not 10 cards. On one card, one class, I must have a perfect picture. At any given point, I can tell you how my class is doing. On one card, not 10 cards. Of course, I use two sides, but on one card. And this idea actually came from Winston Churchill. Like Winston Churchill during World War II, he said that every morning, whenever he got his breakfast and he got his newspaper, he would get a one-piece memo from the DOD. Basically, it's a map that says where all the tanks are. He just wanted to know the position of the tanks. He said, like, I need to know on a daily basis on one piece of paper. I don't know how big that paper was actually, but on one piece of paper next to his newspaper and next to his coffee or his tea, he would know exactly where is the position of all his artillery. So I like that too, like on one piece of paper. Of course, it's two sides, but on one piece of paper, when I look at it like this, I want to be able to know, okay, here are my students. How many students do I have in class? And then it'll tell me the attendance. It'll tell me how they're doing their homework. It's very small, but it tells me every single thing. I have a key on the side over here, so that if I'm using green on week 9, over here, it'll tell me the 10 points awarded to the student who was showing me some projects on the computer. Points, and I'll put the green on week 9. Some of them forgot to put their name on an exam on week 6. So that way I can tell the student, like, the final exam is coming up. And by the way, you guys did not write your name last time, so please don't forget to write. So this is a beautiful way of working. If you'd like to know more details, just let me know. I hope this was a helpful episode. I hope you got some kind of idea. You didn't get the full idea maybe, but it gives you a little bit of food for thought to see, well, maybe working on a computer might not always be the best way. Sometimes paper and pen is perfect. Thank you. I'll see you in my next episode. Now I'm going to draw week 15 line. By the way, I don't draw the lines up front. I will do it like one day before the class. Like this is for tomorrow's class. So I will do this, drawing the line for week 15. And that way, when I'm drawing the line, I'm looking and seeing what happened on week 14 by looking at the row. Anybody was absent, or anybody did not give me their homework, I will know about that. By the way, this pen is from Oxford. We went for an Oxford training, which was kind of cool. It was very cool. It was something very different. I learned like 10 different things, which I'm making an episode on. So please, subscribe to my channel, and you can see. I'm already certified by Cambridge, but now the school is going to Oxford. So I will be putting in a lot of Oxford training stuff on my channel also. I like drawing the lines. I like doing this. This is just, some people, I know some teachers will look at it and say, hey, listen, man, you're just doing too much work for yourself. I'm like, nope, not really. In my world, I teach one subject, but multiple levels and multiple classes. I can't remember everything. I don't want to remember everything. I don't want all this information bouncing around like marbles in my head. It's just going to give me a headache. So I'd rather put it on paper. There it is. If I want to know how a student is performing, there it is. I can look at the student right from week 1 all the way to week 15, because now it's week 15. And we have 5 more weeks of school, and then the semester is done. It's not exactly a graph chart, but it gives me a very good, I have the information on that student like right up front, like the basic information. If I need something more deeper, then of course I have to go to my notebook where I write notes differently. Here's a student that was absent 2 times, and 2 times he forgot to bring his notebook to class. Here's another student that was not absent, did all the homework, but she forgot to bring her notebook 3 times. Now, I'm a little bit strict on the notebook thing. If a student doesn't bring a notebook to school, I'm a little bit, like, where's my notebook? But if they're performing very well, they're doing things very well, I might not be so strict on them if they miss their note, because I know they will do their work. But if there's any student that is weak and the notebook is not there, now I need to be on that student like white on rice. So thank you very much, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye. Now I'm going to go and have my coffee. You need coffee. Can't live without coffee, I tell you. That's good coffee.